Welcome back to the channel, mate. I hope you've been doing well. I'm pretty sure you've seen that video about the Manosphere with HS in it, with Justin Waller in it, where, you know, obviously, I forget they've got Louis Theroux, right? I'm pretty sure you've seen that. I personally found it really interesting. I thought that was a fascinating video because it gives an insight into how distorted the red pill's become. If you want to know how to actually use these, then this is the right video for you. I, in the past, really struggled to actually attract women, right? This is the whole red pill was about being a man, getting better with women, and improving your life, right? But in the past, when I was younger, in my teenage years, you know, I used to really struggle with women because I didn't understand either of these. I didn't understand that I was acting within the blue pill when I needed the red pill. And then there's been instances in my life where I've used the red pill too much and then it's made it bad for women and for myself. So if you want to know how to properly utilize them to be able to improve your dating situation and when you get into a relationship, then I've got you covered. So firstly, obviously we've got to give a bit of a rundown when it comes to the red pill and the blue pill. So we're going to start off with the blue pill. The blue pill is what society has told you all your life. So it's the be nice to the girl, you know, hold the door open for her, just constantly be nice and then she'll like you. This is why you struggle with women for the most part, because society's taught you, especially for example, if you grew up without a dad or a strong masculine figure, a lot of women will tell you, just be nice to the girl, just treat her well, and then you'll get the girl, which is true. You should be nice to women, but if you're only going off this advice, which we've both done, if you only go off of this advice, you will fail when it comes to women, as we have both experienced. You know, I can name you so many instances throughout my time throughout secondary school when I was interested in girls, right? And I just thought, if I'm nicer than every other guy, if I just keep messaging her, she will eventually like me. But then she's out giving head to guys who are treating her worse. So it was only after a multiple of them that I realised the blue pill doesn't really work. So then we've obviously got the red pill, which is the antidote, right? Well, the antidote to feminism, right? The red pill is basically what teaches you what you should have been told when it comes to attracting women. And this is what will help you with attracting women and actually becoming more successful in dating. So I'm going to go over both of them, how to utilize both of them, because it's not about using just one or the other. It's actually about combining them. And this is what most guys forget. And they also forget how to use them properly. Like we've seen with the Into the Manosphere video, it's the red pill's become incredibly distorted. It's not what it was about. Is just about showing you the true reality. But now guys are using it to put themselves above women, to put themselves in a patriarchal sense, and it doesn't work. It creates inequalities, and it's completely wrong. Because at the end of the day, what the red pill is about is enabling you to improve yourself so you can have more success in dating. That's truly what it's about. So then you can have more options so you don't have to settle. Because truthfully, no one wants to settle with a partner. You deserve the best partner possible. So it's important we apply the red pill. So let's get into it. So we'll start off with the red pill because this is actually where you need to begin when it comes to attracting women, okay? So the main tenet of the red pill, which I think is the most important thing for every single guy, is self-improvement. So the blue pill has obviously told us, just be yourself. Just be yourself and the women are going to love you. Which is completely fucking wrong. Because if you're a loser, if you're skinny fat, if you've got low testosterone, if you can't defend a woman, if you have a shit job, if you have no direction in your life, if you have no drive, if you're lazy, if you smell, so all the negative qualities, just being yourself isn't going to cut it. And this is where self-improvement comes in. Because the red pill teaches you female nature, which is hypergamy, which states that a female or a lady within a market is naturally going to gravitate towards the best available male. So we have this term called branch swinging. Branch swinging basically states how a monkey will go from one branch to the other, and before it grabs the second branch, or just after it grabs the second branch, it lets go of the previous one. And this is somewhat how female nature works within the dating market. If a woman is, say, dating two guys, right? Or she's seeing one guy, let's say that guy is you, and you know, you're dating, you think it's going really well, right? You think it's going really well, and it's like you keep seeing each other, you've maybe been on 3 dates, right? And all of a sudden she goes cold. She's not talking to you. And you scratch your head and you're like wondering what's going on. What's happened is that she has branch swung. A better option has come along in her mind and then she just cuts you off because she doesn't need you, because she's found someone better. This is female nature. Okay? So this is where self-improvement really comes into it, mate. If you're not self-improving, if you're not improving yourself in your mental realm, your spiritual realm, your connection with God, your physique, your mentality, your intellect, your money, your direction, all these very positive qualities, if you're not improving yourself and making yourself better and leveling yourself up, that is an explanation for why you've been struggling. It's because perhaps at the moment you are unsuccessful with the women that you're attracted to because you're not at the same level as them. Especially if you're a young guy, women naturally, as guys, we've got to admit it, we value a lot of guys value women on their beauty. Obviously there's more to it than just that, but as a face value, first thing, is she hot? If she's not hot, most guys aren't even going to give her the time of day, okay? So if you're going after really, stunning, beautiful women, but you haven't self-improved, if you have little to offer, she's not going to be interested in you, mate. And that's why you've been struggling. So this is why we need to really focus on self-improvement. And this is why the red pill is really important, because it teaches you, fuck man, you've got to get it together. If you don't have it together, that's completely fine. And I didn't have it together for so long. What you have to do is self-improve for years. Pardon me. You have to go through a really almost like a dark period, right? Where you're by yourself, you're isolated, almost kind of like this lone wolf kind of thing, or you're just you and your guys, very masculine, right? Very rugged. Where you transform yourself, obviously like the winter arc kind of bullshit, right? You have to transform yourself. But what happens is you're making very little progress. Let me draw it out for you. You've probably seen this before. You're making very little. You make a little bit of progress, little bit of progress, and all of a sudden you start making exponential gains. And this is what happens with self-improvement. You will be working on yourself for a very long time. This happened with me. I was working on myself for a very long time, a good few years. And then all of a sudden, I just started getting attention from women. I had women coming up to me, women chatting with me, and I started to find it really easy because I had invested in myself in self-improvement. You just have to stick it for a while. This is what delayed gratification looks like. You're making progress for so long, and you're not really seeing anything. And all of a sudden, you do just start getting the attention that you want. That's the only way I can explain it. But you have to put the effort in, and without that realization, you're going to stay stuck. And unfortunately, mate, you will end up having to settle. And I don't want that for you, and you don't want that for yourself. So you need to kind of lock in. And the next thing is that the red pill teaches is masculinity. So we have two poles. We've got, I'm not going to write here, but we've got, like yin and yang and light and dark. You've got masculine and feminine. So this is what nobody's taught you. You as the guy need to be the masculine one in the relationship in order for the relationship to flourish, or in order for a woman to actually be attracted to you. Because for the most part, you are going to be trying to go towards a feminine lady, right? That lady is in one state of the polarity, right? She is feminine. Therefore, she is looking for her reciprocal and equal opposite being the masculine. Nobody's taught you how to be masculine because for the most part in society we don't have masculine men. Most of the men who are older than us, right, they don't really all have it all together. Most men have man boobs, they don't treat their wives very well, and they're very unambitious people. So we've not really had many good examples of how to be masculine. The best way I can explain to you how to be masculine, right, I'm going to paint you a scenario. You've probably heard this before. You're on a date with a girl, and she says to you, look, I'm really hungry, I haven't eaten all day, I really fancy some food. And you turn to her and you say, oh yeah, of course, yeah, honestly, just tell me what you want and we'll go get it. And she's like, oh, I don't know, I don't know what I want to eat, but I'm just so hungry. And it's like, honestly, and you say, girl, I don't care, just tell me what you want and we'll go get it, I'll pay for you. And she just can't, she doesn't seem to be able to make her own fucking decision. And as guys, this really frustrates us. But what this actually is her feminine nature looking for your masculine energy. So the masculinity can basically be characterized by strength and direction. Okay? So direction basically means you know where you are in your life, you know where you want to be, and you know how you're going to get there. The feminine wants the masculine to guide them. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, as a man, you need to be guiding women. Obviously not lecturing them, but showing them that you're capable, showing them that you're confident, showing them that you know how to lead them. Being able to lead a woman is probably one of the most important things you can learn, because if you don't know how to lead a woman, you're not going to put her in her feminine state. And you want to have a woman in her feminine state because she's going to be happier. Okay? So, on to the next thing when it comes to the red pill is attraction strategies. Now, this is where a lot of people really mess it up, and this chances are, mate, you've probably messed this up. You use attraction strategies, so as obviously it's things like not really being too overly invested into the woman. It's kind of like, you know, focusing on yourself. It's like day game, that kind of stuff. You can't apply attraction strategies if you haven't self-improved. So this is where a lot of guys fuck up. They give the mentality that I'm this masculine man and all women should kind of be attracted to me because I follow the red pill. And what a lot of guys don't understand, and chances are this might be you, is if you don't have enough inherent self-value, you cannot use attraction strategies. You cannot spin plates. You cannot message loads of different women and, you know, have loads of different women. You go and date loads of different women because these women aren't even interested in you. Okay? So basically, this leads back to self-improvement. The main part of the red pill is you can't use the red pill properly. You can't understand a lot of it properly until you self-improved. Because you don't really get to use it when you are getting women. So the main thing is red pill, is self-improvement. So moving on, we've got the blue pill. The blue pill is really important when you actually get into a relationship with a woman. Because let's say, for example, you were to get into a relationship and you're still kind of acting very much focused on yourself, because this is what the red pill is about. It's very much focused on who you are as an individual. When you get into a relationship, things change a little bit because you not only have to focus on you, but you also have to be considerate of the person you're in the relationship with, without giving them too much. So it's almost a balancing act here, and this is something that I've had to toy with myself being in a relationship. You can't be too selfish, but also if you give too much, you end up losing out on yourself, okay? So what the blue pill basically talks about is stability, marriage, emotional investment into the girl that you're talking to or the woman, and then treating the woman well. So I'm going to actually focus on the emotional investment and treating women well. This is where society's told us how to be to attract women. It says, emotionally invest in the women, give them all your attention, and then she will like you back. That's not true. That's only true if you are in a relationship. If you use emotional investment and treating women well, obviously you shouldn't treat them badly, but you know what I mean. If you use these as a strategy to be able to attract women, you're going to fail, because more often than not, women kind of find it a little bit attractive when a guy's a little bit more toxic, when he's kind of less interested, okay? Women want to do the chasing, they don't want to be chased, okay? So if you're well over the top, being really nice, they're not going to be attracted to you, so you kind of need to obviously tone it down. But when you're in a relationship, it's completely different. You need to actually give that caring energy, because ultimately when you're in a relationship, you'll realise that women being emotional creatures, they need to be emotionally fed, and the main way to do this is through praise. When you praise a feminine woman, she feels amazing about herself, she becomes more radiant, and obviously you need to do it in a relationship where she's looking up to you as her masculine figure. But if you're not her masculine figure and you're praising her, she's just getting free attention for nothing. And this is where the dating market is so fucked, because so many guys are doing this treating women well thing when the woman isn't giving them anything in return. So you need to be really discerning and really careful. The idea, which I think is the best thing possible for you, is when you get to the point when you're in a relationship, combine the both and make the purple pill. So what the purple pill basically is obviously keeping the tenets of self-improvement and masculinity and understanding female nature. Obviously this is focusing on yourself, this is looking out for yourself, but then it's combining them with look out for her. Make sure she's fed, because ultimately as the masculine individual, you are responsible for your partner. Okay? To be responsible for your partner, you need to be responsible for yourself as well. So never forget the red pill, but also bear in mind you do need to emotionally feed the person that you're with. So you need to take care of them. You need to show them attention. You need to go out with them. You need to make them feel loved. And that's what it's about. But in your position, you haven't got any girls. So time to get self-improving. I hope you find this video helpful. Stay tuned for more.